In this course, you're going to be relearning how to learn. Now, I'm sure you already know how to learn, or you wouldn't be where you are today. But to be honest, a lot of the things you know about learning and reading and memory, well, they've got to go. This can be really frustrating. After all, these are habits you've probably had for decades. At first, it's going to feel a lot like learning to walk on your hands. Throughout the course, we're going to be using a training methodology called progressive overload. Progressive overload is a fundamental principle at the core of all strength and fitness training, and it's applicable to your mental skills as well. The basic idea is to always be training near or just below your limits. You always lift weights that are relatively heavy or run at a pace that is relatively challenging. By doing this, you avoid the injury and the damage and the frustration that could result in training beyond your limits. But you also avoid getting stuck in a rut by not pushing yourself enough. Most importantly, every time you progress, you immediately increase the level of intensity to maintain your progress. There are a few fundamental principles that make progressive overload work, such as periodization or rest periods, and variations in intensity and volume of training, but you can leave all of that up to us. What you need to know is that you're going to be training near or at your level of comfort, and that's by design. Your job as a student is simply to be aware of your current level, to make sure that you're not training above or below it, and to vary the intensity to suit your needs and your progress. On our end, we'll give you the tools and metrics to diagnose if your training is right in that sweet spot. Now, I don't want to sugarcoat it. The truth is that some frustration and struggle is unavoidable, but this actually works in our favor. As my friend Peter C. Brown, author of the book Make It Stick, The Science of Successful Learning, says, when learning comes easily, it doesn't stick. Sure, these methods are going to make it easier and more fun than ever before to learn new information, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be effortless. We want you to work hard in this course, but we don't want you to be frustrated or to feel beat down. So here are a few things we're going to do together to prevent that frustration. The first thing you're going to do is to complete the goals and progress worksheet and post it publicly near your desk. We want you to identify the 3 to 5 goals you have for this course, as well as the reasons you want to accomplish those goals. But be specific. A goal like read faster, it doesn't tell you much. But a goal like read 700 words per minute with 80% retention by November of this year, that's right on the money. These goals are a key aspect of your motivation, and as you're going to learn when we discuss adult andragogy theory and educational psychology, that's a big part of the accelerated learning process by itself. The next thing we want you to do to avoid frustration is to check out the articles in the PDF syllabus. One is about something called the Pomodoro technique, which is a method used to prevent fatigue and frustration. Basically, you'll train for 20 to 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, and then train for another 20 to 25 minutes, and then take another 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, or 20 to 25-minute periods, you'll take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. This method has been proven to be one of the most effective ways to maintain focus and creativity, so check it out. There's also an article by Dr. Lev on how to avoid headaches and mental fatigue, which is definitely worth checking out. Next up, we've included a bunch of lectures and interviews with some world-class super learners from all over the world, from people like Tim Ferriss to memory champions and hyper polyglots. What makes these lectures great for eliminating frustration is that each of these super learners will openly admit that they're not a particular genius and that you can learn to do what they do easily. Anytime you feel frustrated, check out one of these supplementary materials and you'll be completely inspired. They'll also remind you that you can do this with a little hard work and the proper techniques. Lastly, we just want to remind you that the super learner community is here to help. If you have a question or feel frustrated or get stuck, you always are encouraged to post in the course Facebook group, where thousands of super learners from all over the world, including myself and Dr. Lev, are happy to help you along. Okay, enough with all the introductions and formalities, right? Let's dive in already. First, make sure to check the PDF syllabus for this lecture's homework because you already have some important assignments and recommended materials to start working on. Once you've done that, the next lecture is going to be a diagnostic worksheet which you'll use to measure your baseline reading speed and comprehension level. Get ready, guys. It's going to be a super fun ride.
Okay, everyone, before we move on to the next section, I just want to let you know that pretty soon Udemy is going to ask you if you would like to leave a review. And if you could just take a quick second and go ahead and leave us a review, we would really appreciate it because it boosts our credibility, helps us bring in more students, which helps us build even better courses. And by the way, if you've had anything less than an absolutely perfect experience, then just go ahead and send us a message and we'll actually go ahead and improve that part of the course for you. Anyway, we really, really appreciate it, and let's move on.